Welcome. Good morning to everybody. But Eleanor, it's good evening for her. So we've got our nice time to, you know, wiggle into some good vibes here. Maybe we got good vibes, so maybe we'll just appreciate what we have. Maybe we have good vibes, but we want even better vibes, so we're going to reach for something a little higher. But there's no rules, so you get to really do whatever you want over there. You get to lay down, you get to sit, you get to have your eyes open, you get to have your eyes closed, you get to drink coffee or tea, you get to walk your dog, you get to journal. Any damn thing you can think of that you feel like doing right now is fair game. Basically, you have to keep your clothes on if your video's on, and that's the rule. So it's Monday, Thanksgiving's in a couple days, and I wanted to share with you these chronic things that I listen to me, right? I listen to myself with everything. I'm about to tell you this thing that I do every year. And as long as this is going to be my story, because I'm telling you, I do this every year. And if I'm telling you I do this every year, I can't possibly not do this every year. But I don't always do energy work on every subject I know I'm being a little naughty about. So this is a subject that I know I'm a little naughty at and I don't do anything about. Well, I did a little thing this year. So here's the story. This is the time of year where I start saying, I really don't like Thanksgiving. I don't like Thanksgiving food. It's a lot of work. The meal, like, at least it feels like the meal in my family is kind of rushed through. And then you're kind of like left with a bunch of leftover food you don't like, and a day where it was like a lot of work. And so this is my story that I have in my mind. It's really not that bad. There's nothing crazy going on, but for years and years, I started off with just I don't like Thanksgiving food. So over the years, I've definitely said, well, Leah, let's figure out like, what food do you like? And, how can this be a little bit nicer? And so I have done different variations. Like one year, I cooked the entire Thanksgiving meal outside in like an Argentine fire pit I dug. And that was like pretty cool. But that, that was a lot of work. So So this year, same thing happened. I've been on a restricted diet this year, so I'm eating even less foods. And so thought it would be appropriate to say even louder that I don't like Thanksgiving food. But then, I did catch myself a little bit and I thought, man, I should really try to do something teeny about this. And so I didn't do any story rewrites. I didn't do any lists of positive aspects. But I was at the dinner table and my aunt was there, and I said, "Hey, like, let me just run this thing by you because I am looking for a solution. Not let me bitch about this. This was like, hey, I'm genuinely open here." And so I told her, and she said, "Well, it's Thanksgiving. If you're hosting it, just make whatever you would normally make for dinner. Make whatever you feel like making, and then invite people over and say if they want anything else, then they can bring whatever they want." And I thought, geez, I love this. Okay, I'm gonna do this. But then I said, but then what about the leftovers? People in my family, the desserts are out of control. 5% of everything gets eaten. So like it's all going to be at my house. And she just said, well, tell people that if there's leftovers, they have to bring it home. So if they want to bring 3 pies and there's 2.5 pies left over, they get to bring those. And I thought, aha, this is perfect. So this is what I did actually. So this is what's going on. Thanksgiving is at my house. And I'm feeling pretty good about it because I'm going to make food I genuinely enjoy eating. Every year my friend who's a chef gets me this like 10-pound fish that I do on the grill. So there's going to be like a massive fish. I'm doing a vegan like rice casserole thing, some braised greens, and one little gluten-free almond cake thing. So I'm excited about this. My family is going to bring other things, and the reason why I am sharing this story is because we all got weird things going on, okay? Like, we've all got some weird shit going on where the story's there. It's not so bad that we haven't done anything, that we're like, trying to majorly change things. But the holidays can be a time of year where those little annual cyclical thoughts pop up, and you can allow them or you can try to do something about it, because it's this is going to be always, what are you going to tolerate in your life? And for me, I was planning on tolerating it, except I was at the dinner table and I didn't have anything else to talk about, and I was like kind of a little bit annoyed. And so I thought, well, if I'm sitting here a little bit annoyed, I may as well just throw this out there to see if somebody has an idea. And in that invitation, I was able to receive an answer. I was able to kind of change things a little bit. So even if family traditions have been set in stone in your family for a very long time, even if it seems like there's nothing you can do, talk to somebody who you do these with, try to get clear on what's bothering you. Try to, just even be acknowledged. Oh, this is something that comes up every single year. Try to a little bit be in some sort of receiving mode. So I just wanted to share that with you to let you know that even me, for certainly, I go through stuff all the time, but absolutely even me is going to have these funny little things pop up. And then the difference is what do we choose to do with it? We can totally choose to do nothing with it. I almost did that. Or we can choose to just kind of shift a teeny tiny bit and then see what kind of solutions come our way. And then we get to be shocked and surprised at, like, oh, hey, this actually does work. Things are not so solid and stationary and set in stone as sometimes they seem to be. So with that, let's get this meditation going. I'm going to close my eyes. You may, if you want. You can first see if there's any way to get a little cozier. Do you need a pillow? Do you need a blanket? Few deep breaths, any way you want to do them. My nose is a little clogged, so my deep breaths have to be really through my mouth. Usually it's through the nose, but that pipeway is not working that well this morning. So any loud way you want to do it. Sometimes it's nice to even I kind of sometimes like to just, give myself a little pet on the body, like kind of just ground myself a little bit more. Feel my body here. Where am I in this time and space? I'm sitting here, you're sitting where you are, and we are sitting with whatever we woke up with, which probably was some result of the past few days. Doesn't really matter. So let's think about, it can be a valid question to ask yourself, and it's okay if the answer is no, but it's a valid question to ask yourself. Am I thinking anything frustrating? Am I thinking about anything that I'm not looking forward to? Am I annoyed by anything? Am I not looking forward to Thanksgiving? Am I looking forward to Thanksgiving? Maybe the meal's good and then something happens on Black Friday. Maybe Black Friday's good, but then something happens leading up to Christmas or the other holidays in this time frame. We often can learn law of attraction and we start applying it to certain areas of our life. But then there's certain times when even the most devout law of attraction practitioners can slip into forgetting about law of attraction. Business is one of those. I see people, me too sometimes. We work on all our good vibes and then we sit down to work on our businesses and we say, "Oh, well, running a business is stressful or this is intense." And holidays are another one of those. Are there any thoughts that go around through your mind that are worth catching? In this space, we know they're true. We know your chronic thoughts are backed by real life things. People have done this. This is what happens. Zoom links not working, right? We know that all the frustrations, we know that all the frustrations are backed by facts and data and proof. We know we're just recounting something that actually happened. But law of attraction doesn't give a shit. Law of attraction, law of attraction is just this like magnetic field. There's not a consciousness to it. It's just how energy flows. And all it's doing is matching you with things that match your energy. So if I was frustrated by upcoming Thanksgiving and I know why, I already told you all the reasons why. Law of attraction just doesn't care about my why. All it's saying is Aaliyah's pulsing out frustration. So what else can we give to frustrate her? That's all that's happening. And so when we get reminded of this, it probably to this group seems logical to really question that frustration, really question those thoughts about how something is that pop up around this time of year. Can we get past the validity of these? Can we get past the validity? Can we let it go? Not because it deserves to be let go, but because we deserve to not be pulsing out a signal to the universe that is telling us we want more of that thing we actually don't want. So, what do we do? So, what do we do? Well, we can decide, we can choose any other pulse of energy, any other emotion that we think we would like more of the time and find any damn reason to flex that. So, what is it? Love, comfort, ease, warmth, humor, appreciation for anything, not caring, relaxing. Anything on that appetizer list sound good to you? Anything? Let's pick one. Pick one. Let's say we chose relax. Let's pulse that out. Ah, feels good to relax. Feels good to relax. Feels good to slow down. Feels good to not hurry through the holidays. Feels good to slow down. It feels good to chill. Feels good to take an extra nap or two. Feels good to let somebody else do a little extra work. Feels good to laugh a little bit. Feels good to not care a little bit. Can fold a couple more in. Feel good to just not care. What does that look like? I'm driving down the road, somebody pulls out in front of me. I don't care. Grocery store, long line. I don't care. Somebody shows up all flustered, didn't say hello. I don't care. Somebody's super late. Who cares? Tons of traffic, you're late. Everyone will get over it. It would be nice to just be this little pawn going through the world with a silly little grin on my face, not caring. It'd be nice to just only be aware of things I like. Oh, I forgot about this food that they sell, these cookies that they sell during the holidays, or oh, the music's nice, or oh, I like her hat, or ooh, I'm gonna get bundled up. When we can be sitting there and going through our life, and especially this week and this month, and we can just primarily decide that we are going to look for things we like, enjoy moments that don't seem enjoyable, relax a little bit more, care a little bit less, love a little bit more. This is where we can focus our attention. So let's take a minute or two. And if there's anything somewhat challenging that you're foreseeing over the next week or so, can you visualize yourself? Can you plop yourself right in that situation and then visualize yourself just not caring? Visualize yourself smirking a little on the inside. Visualize yourself saying, "Ooh, Aaliyah would be so proud of me. Normally I'm annoyed right now, but I'm just laughing inside." What would that look like? What would that look like to take a moment that you usually get frustrated at and just decide, in that moment, what if I just didn't care? What if I just didn't care? I could still ask questions. I could still try to figure out how it could be better, but I'd be trying to figure it out from a place of not caring, which is definitely more open than a place of frustration. The questions we ask when we're looking for answers are going to get different answers depending on whether we're frustrated, neutral and not caring, or feeling good. The same question will yield drastically different results depending on the origination energy. I said I was going to give you a minute or two, and then I went off on another tangent. So let's go back to that. Let's go back to that minute or two of silence and breathing so you can visualize yourself in that not ideal moment, not caring, relaxing, laughing, choosing something else to focus on. So let's do that now. I was thinking about my whole family rolling in with truckloads of food and just saying, rather than allowing that, oh my God, like this is so much. And whatever else I would say, just being like, wow, this is beautiful. Wow, this is beautiful. And then I got even a little extra laughs when I pictured myself at the end of the dinner being like, okay, now take it home with you. It feels good to feel good, everybody. I know you know that. So the question then is going to be, are do you think there's a time to break the rule? Is there an upcoming time when you think that, you know, it's we don't, whatever the situation warrants not feeling good anymore? You can do whatever you want. That's the beauty of this stuff. There's no rules of how you have to be. You don't have to get it right every time. There's no rules. It's just, hey, if you've noticed, this is how the world works. Like energy attracts like energy, and it's all in your power. And at our core, if we're trying to ask ourselves, who am I? If we're just frustrated or confused with, everything, and you want a little bit of guidance, just hear this. You are a being of love. Your mechanism inside of you is love. When you put your head in the sand of everything around you and just pay attention to flexing your heart, flexing feeling good, flexing being a being of love, you will recognize and know this to be your true self. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, confused, you can just push all of those details aside, because if we just come back and sit down, knowing that we are beings of love, then that is, we are being who we are. And when we're being who we are also manifesting everything that we want. It's beautiful. So a little food for thought. A little food for thought. You guys are beautiful. Say it to yourself. Say it in your head, right? Wow, I know I'm a being of love. I know I'm a being of love. Maybe that part of me is a little rusty, but I know that that's part of me. Maybe not. Maybe that's part of me's right there. And even if I feel confused, I'm sure of that piece of myself. We all have so much to give as we go through our lives and go through everywhere we go. The best thing we could do for ourselves and anybody else is to be pulsing out love. And what better thing to practice and start paying attention to around these times? Not even sure what that sentence was, but what a good time to start practicing that if we've forgotten about it. Because sometimes we can get caught up in our manifestations. Sometimes we can, be really concerned if it's working or not. But sometimes it's also nice to just let all of that go and just rest and get cozy in the fact that we can love, and we can practice loving, and we can make that piece of our heart dominant with time. And as we do that, we will feel better, and everybody in our lives will feel better. And it's a beautiful win-win. So I invite you to take a nice, big, deep breath. Let it out. Stretch your body. Yeah. That's it. The shoulder blades. Thank you, everybody.